Oh, shit. Welcome. I told you, technical difficulties every single fucking time. Welcome, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Upside Down Rewatch. We are on Stranger Things Season 3, Episode 1 and 2. I'm your host of the channel, Nadia, with Horror with Nads. If you could do me a favor, please hit that like button. If you are somebody who's in the chat right now, please also share out the stream. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe button as well. And if you're watching this on the rewatch, please leave me a comment. That would be so much, that would be grateful. Turning into a VTuber, I am. I see everybody's comments coming up, especially the one backstage that made me laugh with sketches. In this house, we stand for Season 3. That being said, what a crappy opening, but I'm here. Happy Friday, y'all. Let's bring everybody on. So, Sketch, Toonie, and Zax decided to show up.
Afternoon, ladies.
Afternoon. What's
Perfect
up, guys?
timing.
Happy Friday.
Thanks.
It's a Friday in here. So I'm excited that we are back for a Season 3. I think we're on good timing to get ready for Season 5, which I'm surprised we haven't seen a trailer yet.
They said end of the month, though.
Yeah. Maybe
I'm pretty sure that means that I think they're going to put it like all the way at the very end of the month. Usually that means last possible day.
Yeah.
I also realized the opener that I have for this that Vex put together has spoilers for Season 3 in it.
Perfect.
Oh well,
It doesn't.
known them. I've never noticed. I wouldn't have know them until I see the rest of the season. It's just Stranger Things clips to me. Although I very much doubt that a Season 5 trailer I'm going to enjoy more than that intro every time. I do enjoy that intro.
She does great. Again, hire Vex, folks.
She's awesome.
She's linked always in all my descriptions. She does my intros and outros and all intros for shows. She's doing the new one for the new show that's premiering Tuesday as well. So she's amazing. Hire her. She's a great editor.
I appreciate the fact that she went for the clips that are a little less like go-to for everyone on this show. How much is she said she hasn't seen the whole show though, right? She just kind of arbitrarily picked a bunch.
Mm-hmm. And it flows very well.
Mm-hmm. She managed to pick a lot of just like unique clips that most people wouldn't immediately think of. So you know what? It worked for her, and that takes talent. That takes a good eye.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to give a quick shout out to your VFX?
Vex. It's Vex Electronica. Let me drop her link in the chat. Give me a second.
Yeah. I recognize that name. Would she have done anything? Go on.
Vex is like everywhere, I guess.
Right. Okay.
Kind of, right?
Yeah, it's one of those names that I probably would have heard before, but I wouldn't have registered it. You know, she's Vex
Electronica on all social media. So any social media, she's Vex Electronica, and she just started doing editing the last year. And like I said, she's done my intro. She did my intro for the Penguin. She's did my From intro, the Stranger Things. She does my Horror with Nadia intro. She did that. Because the one I had beforehand, I made and it was very crappy. And she did my outros, so she's great.
Yeah, been editing for a year and she's picked up skills faster than I have.
Well, she's also she's a YouTuber too that reviews movies and she edits her own videos too. So she's not like a newbie to it. I think it was more so a newbie, her services being rendered to other people. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Her videos are great too. What's up, Zach? I haven't seen you in a while.
What is up, Nadia?
What's going on?
You didn't cancel on me this time, so that's nice.
I know. I didn't. I hate canceling streams. It's only when I'm at my absolute worst I'll cancel a stream. I just woke up from a nap, so I'm still waking up.
Same.
I love naps. Naps are the fucking best.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a napper, but when I'm not feeling good, my body goes shutdown mode.
Well, that's all you need to get that second wind going. Okay, just a little nap.
A little nappy poo.
All right, learning about South Africa today a lot.
Oh,
because of the whole thing
Andy?
with Trump, and he's going to be on tomorrow talking about it with me. But there's this new banger song that's out. It's called "Kill the Boar." It's just it's got a fat beat to it. It's great. So if I was watching songs calling for massacres, it's for you.
Jesus, I was watching Tim Pool talk about it, but right now it's Philcast. Tim is not on, and Phil Labonte. This dude does not know how to host a show. And I'd say this as somebody who has technical difficulties every single time. But
Never.
he will literally cut somebody off who's saying something that he then takes what the person is saying and says it just slightly different. And I'm like, oh my God, dude, just
the man's too used to being second chair.
Well, that's the thing. He's the type of person that you can tell is not actually listening to what the other person is saying. He's just waiting for to kind of like interrupt to put his own opinion instead of actually retaining what the person is saying. You can pick up on that. Zach, I have interesting news.
What's that?
I might have convinced Chris to come back to Inside all day.
Oh, what move did you use to make that work?
We don't know for sure yet, but
okay.
We're kind of teetering on the idea of like a stream once a week to talk about like nerdy stuff, news, video games, things like that kind of deals. So
good idea.
I laid the groundwork. So he's like, I don't want to have to watch things every week. I'm like, you don't. We'll just talk about news, and if you watch it, not like we'll figure it out. So he's like,
I don't want to watch things. Okay, that's one thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, no, he doesn't want to have to be pressured in the time span to watch something. So like he doesn't want to have to go to opening weekends to watch movies that he's not really interested in and stuff. I was like, we don't have to do that. Lies. See, he's listening to me. Not
You're
lies.
back, Chris. It's too late. I
want him to come back. I think he would be great. But less stress. So laying the groundwork. We'll see. Thank you, Toxic couldn't be here tonight. Cinevere's Fish is in here. I like his thing. It's Nasty Nad's time. And Rio is in here. What's up, guys? Thank you guys so much for joining. I don't know if I missed anybody. I see everybody else in the chat. All right. I said I wanted to keep this under 2 hours, and I'm rambling. Let's get into it, shall we, guys? Shall we get into Stranger Things Season 3? Sketch has some Season 3 propaganda that he wants to spew as well. We are going to be discussing Episode 1. Suzie, do you copy? Episode 3 kicks off. This episode kicks off Season 3, set in the summer of 1985 in Hawkins, Indiana, and introduces new dynamic among the characters. A fresh setting of the Starcourt Mall rekindles the supernatural threat tied to the Upside Down. The episode balances nostalgia, humor, romance, and a creeping dread, laying the groundworks for the season's larger conflicts. So, do you want your propaganda? Do you want to stand on your little box right now? Or do you want to just spew it as we go?
I'll give it in drips, kind of just like the classic Netflix mystery plot line. All will be revealed in time. But you want to know about what kind of propaganda we do need to talk about right now? Russian propaganda, with how this episode starts, that they conveniently omitted from that log line.
That is true. We are dealing with the Russians in this, with 1985. So this opens up with June 28th, 1984. The episode begins a year prior in the Soviet Union base in, I'm going to butcher this really bad, Kamchatka. That's all I got. Where scientists attempt to reopen a portal to the Upside Down using a massive
Just say
machine.
Moscow.
Is it? Yeah, because that's what everybody...
No.
It's all Moscow.
Yeah, it's
all Moscow. The experiment fails, resulting in a gruesome deaths, and a Soviet general orders the project to continue in secret. This establishes the Soviet as the new antagonistic force and hints at the Upside Down lingering threat. So, pretty on par for even though this is a fantasy series or sci-fi series, pretty on par for it with timeline, with what actually was happening at this time between Russia and the United States.
Well, in addition to just being like a really cool cold open, in my opinion, I like that this is like a through line to what we got a little bit from what's his name, Dr. Owens before, talking about when he was talking to Hopper about like, imagine if the Soviets had access to like the same information about like the Upside Down that they did.
Yeah, now they actually
they had that seed planted there to start to explore, and now sure enough, here it is.
What's up, Sherry? Yes, and this was a common trope in 80s movies though too, right? Russian. We don't have our historian on tonight, so that's why I'm asking.
Hello, Sherry.
We don't need the historian. We have the propagandist.
The propagandist.
You
Are you
All
full of Russian propaganda, Sketch? Are you a Russian asset?
Sorry, my name's not Tucker Carlson.
What year was Rocky 3? Because that Rocky 3 fixed Russia. What year
that was
that? Rocky 4.
4. That was 80. I actually don't remember.
1982. I've never seen any of the Rocky movies, so.
Oh.
Yeah.
I've
only seen the first one years ago because one of my big brothers was a big fan of it.
Toxic is chatting. I'm like, dude, don't you have something to do right now?
Thank you, Toxic. Thank you, Toxic.
1985.
He's got it on his phone in the background. Anytime he hears something, he rushes over to it.
Yeah.
Sketch, please tell me you've seen Rocky 4.
I've seen Rocky 1, 2, 3, and 4 and all the Creed movies.
Okay. All right. That's good. Yes. So Rocky fixed Russia, brought down communism all on his own when he felled the Russian oak, Ivan Drago, played by Dolph Lundgren. You guys have never seen this. Let's watch that right now. He gives the best speech of all time.
Wait.
If I can do it, so can you.
If you find it, Zax, I'll play it. If you can find the speech.
Yeah,
there you go.
Okay, I'm on it.
Toxic. I see you, Toxic. I know what you're doing. I know how this works.
Stop interrupting.
What I was gonna say. I hope nobody minds. I just I don't know why, but in the settings, my camera had the mirror setting on, so I just turned it off. Nobody minds that. No. Okay, lovely. No worries.
Notice.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. How do we feel that it was teased the Russians, but now we're getting the Russians as the the human antagonistic force? Because each season has to have somebody who is not from the Upside Down, or because last season we had Billy. Season 1, you have the lab and the guys, the guns and stuff. Now we have the Russians, and still come to find out, we still have the Mind Flayer dealing with stuff.
Well, I appreciate them actually being present, and I'm gonna disagree about season 2 because I don't feel like it really had like a true like human antagonist. Billy didn't feel like much of like an antagonist that season. Is more of just like there, sort of felt a little inconsequential. These guys at least have a little bit more presence activity going on, like directly involved in it.
Yeah, I would. As I said, I don't mean to split hairs. I would say that Billy is definitely an antagonist, but I wouldn't really say the villain. He's there to sort of provide a little obstacle for the heroes. Like they've got to try and avoid him where they can, and he's a little bit of a threat. Like he shows up every episode or so to scold, to give a dirty look to Lucas, to maybe put a little bit of fear in Max, and then he's gone for the rest of the episode. But he's not exactly the villain. Like he's not the reason why the Upside Downs, he's not the reason why everything's gone wrong. It's just sort of he's there, like you say. Whereas in this, we have like an actual bad guy, so to speak. Someone who's like the direct cause of the Upside Down leaking back in, and it's sort of again, it's just one of those, like the difference between an antagonist and a villain. It's like, yeah, he's one of the obstacles for the characters, but he's not the focus. If that makes any sense.
But the Russians
we're looking for is a driving force.
Yeah, but the Russians aren't a villain in this season either. They're again another driving force, similar to what Billy was in season 2. So like I understand your guys' point from it, but ultimately it's the Upside Down and the Mind Flayer, and then eventually Vecna, who is the main villain of this series. Where each season we have somebody who's kind of on the human side of causing problems. Maybe not so much a villain, but they're causing problems, and I feel the Russians are that for this season.
Sure. What I mean is that in places like when you've got factions like the just the general government scientists from the first 2 seasons, and then the Russians in this one, they're like the instigators of they're like the cause of the epidemic, if you will. Whereas Billy is just sort of another general, he's sort of like another general antagonist that's sort of dissociated from all of that. He's just another antagonist. Whereas like the Russians are like this season's equivalent to the government scientists in the past. Do you know what I mean? Like they're the instigate. They're the ones doing all the research on the Upside Down. They're the ones instigating the epidemic, intentionally or not. They're this season's human villains. Whereas Billy in the last season was just sort of like once they get around him, so to speak. Once they evade him and get around him, they've basically got nothing else to deal. Well, they've basically just got the season's normal threat to deal with. And maybe I didn't explain that properly, but oh well.
I don't understand why the Russians think the Upside Down is a good idea, because the Upside Down looks like Russia. What's up, Corey? How's it going? Okay, so this, I've never seen this, but I guess maybe it's appropriate because it is Memorial Weekend here in the United States. And thank you to those who have served, who is watching. I appreciate every single one of you for your sacrifices, and those who have had family who have served too as well. All right, let's go.
I came here tonight. I didn't know what to expect.
Когда я вышел этим вечером на этот ринг,
I seen a lot of people hating me, and I didn't know what to feel about that. So I guess
You
I
want to
didn't
pause
like
it occasionally.
too
I'm not
much
sure.
tonight.
And I get copyrighted all the time on these episodes, so it's not. I'm not even monetized for ads and stuff yet, so it's all right.
Okay.
Change
I
that.
played this.
я думаю, что
I played this once on my streams, and I got blocked in Russia. Believe that or not.
Oh, hilarious.
Only Russia, but Russia.
Only Russia? Wow.
Only Russia.
I wonder if we're going to be blocked by Russia with the Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Oh, probably yeah.
All
New-
the season's dreams.
New goal achieved.
я
Yeah.
не любил их тоже.
During this fight, I seen a lot of changing.
В течение всего этого боя я понял, что многое изменилось.
The way
Now, I have a question. Is Rocky based on a true story, or is it just
No.
made
No.
up pro-American at the time?
Yeah. Made
Okay.
up.
Okay.
you felt about me and the way I felt.
I will say his face looks pretty
About
good
you.
for
И я почувствовал, что вы тоже
being beat up.
изменились.
In here, there were two guys killing each other.
Oh, wait. He's with him in the... What's the movie with all the old guys that are like...
Expendables.
Yeah.
Expendables, yeah.
Yeah.
It's all 400
I've seen the
rules.
first one.
But I guess that's better than 20 million.
Я думаю, что это лучше, чем даже 20 миллионов долларов.
So what I was trying to say is that if I can change
Я думаю, что каждый тоже изменился
and
сегодня.
you can change,
Вы можете измениться.
everybody can change.
Каждый может измениться.
I think that's the clearest I've ever heard Stallone speak.
Oh, Mikhail Gorbachev.
Wow.
Hmm.
What pro-American, man. When's the last time
He
you've
did
seen
it.
a pro-American movie?
This is great. I love this kind of stuff.
One thing to my kid who should be home sleeping. Merry Christmas, kid.
Счастливо тебе Рождества, парень!
When's the last time I've seen in a while? It was Twisters. Had a very much a Americana old school feel to it. But I don't remember the last time I've ever seen a movie like this where it's like America is like the shining hope. Because lately it's just been like shit on America left and right in movies.
Yeah.
Top Gun Maverick, maybe?
They made four of these?
There's
Yeah.
6 of these, right? Because there were 2 more, right? Or something after this.
Yeah, Rocky. There was
Rocky Balboa.
Rocky Balboa was the good one. That was actually really good.
Mhm.
There was one that they did after this, before Rocky Balboa, which I don't remember what it was called, but it was not as good.
And then they also made 3 Creed movies, which are supposed to be like Apollo's
Yeah,
illegitimate son, I think.
Oh.
yeah. There's Rocky 5 and then Rocky Balboa. Yeah,
There you go. Yeah.
Balboa was good, really good.
Some new
I
people
thought-
coming in. Penny. Outlaw, what's up? What's up, Rio? I thought I saw Hunty too somewhere in here. I saw him. There we are. What's up, guys? What's up? What's up? Also saw Fish. I didn't know you served. Thank you for your service. 6
Oh, I didn't know
Rocky
that either.
movies.
Nice.
3 Creeds. Jeez. I'm so behind in movies. But I'm binge watching The Handmaid's Tale.
Is that any good? Is that something I should be getting into? Are you doing streams on that?
I can't recommend it because I wanted to watch something with female rage in it, and it's full of that. So I went back to watch that. So I don't know. Zax, would you recommend The Handmaid's Tale?
No, I've watched all of it. I'm up to date with all of it.
Oh, I'm not.
Don't watch it. The first couple of seasons are really good. They're really good. And after that, it's like they keep dragging stuff out to get more seasons. And so like people do these arcs and then they undo the arc in the finale and they start again in the next season. It's frustrating as fuck.
I'm about to finish season 1. So that's how far
it's great. Season 1, season 2, excellent. And it's like it gets worse every season after that, I would say, but 3 is fine. It's just I don't want to spoil it for you, but there's so many like retractions of arcs. It's maddening.
Okay. All right, we're moving away from Russia. Let's get back to Hawkins. So, the main timeline jumps from June 28th, 1980 jumps to June 28th, 1985. The kids, Mike, 11, Lucas, Max, Will, and Dustin are now teenagers dealing with growing pains. That's to say the least of it. Though this is where we start to get Hopper as the butt of the joke. I feel. Oh wow, that's a great. Yeah, it's a great.
Nice little encapsulation of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know how you guys feel about Hopper being the joke, but I wasn't a fan of it. Not in this episode, not in the next one. There was like 1 or 2 moments where I thought this seems like Hopper, but then the rest of it, I was just like, it's just David Harbour being the comedic punching bag. I was like, this just didn't feel like Hopper.
Yeah, it's very contrast to season 1 and 2.
Yeah.
To this, and because it turns around in season 4, I will say it turns around.
Sure.
Bit.
Do you know when?
Oh yeah.
Because early today, I did end up finishing season 2, the last episode, because I missed that one there again. When they're driving, when he's driving with 11 in the truck or the car, he's driving anyway. It's not relevant. He's trying to get in her head, and he's talking to her about like where she disappeared to, what she was doing, and he does try to make it clear that she's not in trouble. Like, yeah, he's a little bit annoyed with her that she ran off, but he weren't there for her at the same time. He does try to have a bit of a heart-to-heart with her, whereas in this season, he makes an effort to go easy on her and to speak to her like a father. Not yell at her, not yell and scream, not berate her, but he does try to actually get her to speak to him. Whereas in this season, he's acting like he doesn't know how to do that with Joyce, and it's like it just seems like it just seems a little bit of like they're taking the lazy route of making him incompetent, even though we already know this is the kind of thing he's good at.
Right.
Well, he's become the comical, stereotypical father with a teenage daughter in the house.
Yeah.
Very much so. Like, there's nothing unique to him, and that car moment from season 2 to me, that officially bonded them as father and daughter in my opinion, like leading up to it. Now we have a good father berates and humiliates his children
always.
Sure. Sure. I guess, but I mean, my dad still does it to this day,
bumbling over himself to
but I mean,
bumbling over himself to try and keep control of his house.
Mike and 11 are in a budding romance. They're sneaking around to make out, right? At this age, they're teenagers.
Oh yeah.
With Hopper's frustration as 11 as a teenager coming up, Hopper's overprotective nature is a comedic highlight, but he struggles to set boundaries, I think. But again, I don't like this version of Hopper we're getting. I think they could have written him better. I think they just didn't know what to do with him. Like, they knew what to do with him towards the end of this season where it was going to go for season 4, but I don't think they knew how to write the journey to get to that point.
Yeah. I wonder if when they're pretending to read books like this, because they do it several times in the next episode as well, do they change the pages that they're pretending to read, or is it the same page every time?
Probably not. They're teenagers. They don't care. Anything on
that book is going to be
and...
upside down one of these times.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I'm the only one that has experience as a teenage daughter to a dad.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, since my dad raised me by him, like my siblings lived with my mother, so I was raised by my father solely. So a lot of growing pains. I can relate to a lot of it.
So this is accurate to parenting a daughter?
My dad would never let a boy in the house, let alone in my bedroom. So
yeah,
maybe not as accurate. So
I mean, if they act anything, understand. We'll have a good day, sir.
Yeah, like my dad wouldn't even let a boy call the house at that point. So maybe not super relatable, but relatable enough to the butting heads and the differences. Man, Finn Wolfhard, he's lucky, man, that he got casted in this because this kid's not growing pretty well. He's a weird looking kid.
Nobody
weird looking kid.
Except her, I guess. The other kids, they didn't age well into their teenage.
Dustin's not terrible. Dustin, he
had a rough start though. Like
Lucas Lucas hits his mark for season 4 at least.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. He does. Yeah.
He gets his turn eventually. He's a little late. He's late to the party, but not as late as the rest of them.
Yeah, every time, every new season, like that's like the character arc for Dustin is like, right, okay, how, like, is it growing up in like every season now? But like, how is he going to eventually surpass Mike, or is Mike who's going to get there first? Like,
I'm excited to see season 5, mostly to see the differences with the. Well, good news, guys, and he's not here, so we'll make the official announcement next week because I got to work out some kinks. But there will be a goal set next stream for the remainder of season 3, and if we hit it, Nick will be dressing up like this.
Hell yeah!
Oh baby, yeah,
baby.
And if we hit the second tier, I'll be dressing up as Robin, so we'll be matching.
That's so gay. I love it.
I know.
I love it.
But poor Steve. King Steve is no longer king, guys. He's taken a year off, right, to explore life, when really we learned that this is a punishment from his dad because Steve's not doing so good in school. Steve might have the hair, but he doesn't have the brain. I'm sorry. I'm in a mood. Too much Handmaid's Tale.
Shouldn't have submitted that paper comparing the basketball game to the beaches of Normandy. What can I say?
Yeah. But we get introduced to a new character, Robin.
I hate the whole arc, the whole seison. I don't like that at all.
Really? With Robin and which one? Which arc?
Steve.
Oh, Steve with. Yeah, I think they had to bring him back down to kind of have him come back up for the Nancy and Steve arc kind of deal. Like let him be at his lowest in a sense.
They did the same thing though with Hopper. They both dragged them down.
Mm-hmm.
And season 4 definitely fixes that stuff. So that's great. If in case you're curious and haven't seen it, it really does fix that, especially for Hopper. But this is it's just goofy, and I like cool Steve, not goofy Steve.
It's not just that they're like down. It's not that they're just taken down, like as far as like rock bottom. It's that like they kind of like used up all their like material for those two characters the first 2 seasons. Like, what have they really got after the end of season 2 to be doing?
Right.
They're Eddie like very much now out of their element. Yeah.
Hail to Eddie. Absolutely.
Hail Eddie. Rock on.
Though I
Eddie.
watched the end of season 4 recently, just felt like it when I was sick, and I don't know if he's alive. I forgot what happened to him. Sorry,
yeah. I won't spoil it for you.
When Robin first appeared, I didn't realize that this was Ethan Hawke and Uma Thurman's kid.
Yeah, I didn't either. I looked it up after, but
she looks like both of them. Like I could see the mix of both of them in there, too. Yeah. A little bit more like her mother, too. Lucas and Max are dating, but there's like Lucas is not reading the room half the time with Max, from what I saw. But he's also a teenage boy. This is his first girlfriend. He is more. I read it as he's more treating her like one of the guys instead of his girlfriend.
Right.
Yeah.
What it comes across.
He doesn't know.
Yeah, he doesn't know. It's his first girlfriend.
He's also a nerd. Nerds aren't known for being able to read the room too well.
I do want some Scoops Ahoy.
Oh. That would be a fun place to open. You could do it.
What movie are they watching? Night of the Living Dead? I think they got stuck into.
Day of the Dead, I think it was.
Is it Day of the Dead? Yeah. Great movie.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen Day of the Dead? See, now I can pull one of these.
Oh, there we go.
I mean, like we were talking about before, I'm only 24. I haven't seen all of the old stuff.
Okay, maybe you got a couple years.
Yeah.
I've got progress to be made all around here.
Yeah. I'll have to start making a list of movies to get a hold of when I get a job again. You'll be like, right, okay, so Day of the Dead. I've watched The Thing, the Rocky movies, and you get them.
Tony, reach out to me when we're done here. I'll hook you up with the good list of things you can start using. 7 pages, 3 columns long of just things to start pulling from. It's like, watch this, and this.
I'll do it.
You can start to construct your catalog off that. It's perfect for you.
Yeah.
Have you watched the Dead movies? Any of them? Like the Living Dead, Not a Living Dead, or Dawn of the Dead? Any of that?
Night of the Living Dead. Maybe when I was younger, but I don't remember a lot of it. I don't think I've watched them all the way through now. I don't know what will really make you hate me, Zach. I have seen the remake of Dawn of the Dead.
Hey, the remake.
I liked it. I liked it.
Okay,
yeah. Zack Snyder. Sometimes he can do it. Sometimes he can land, and then sometimes he can't. Most of the time, he can't.
That was great, I thought.
Will feels left out with his friend group here. While everybody is in budding relationships, we've got Mike and Eleven, we've got Lucas and Max. We seem to find that Dustin has a girlfriend from science camp who turns out to be real, but girlfriend from Canada kind of deal. Sorry. But Will feels left out. His friends are focusing on their relationships, but he's longing to play Dungeons and Dragon and kind of recapture their childhood innocence before anything in this Upside Down happened, too. So I feel bad for Will and that fucking bowl cut that they came in.
Still got it.
Still got it? Oh, right. Yeah. Oh, it's so bad.
They're going to keep Dustin, that thing all the way to the end.
Oh, man. I feel so bad for that kid because the older he gets, it does not look good on him. Dustin returns from science camp, claiming to have a girlfriend, Suzie from Utah, who he communicates with via homemade radio. And the group is skeptical as they are setting up with him when he gets back home. Mm-hmm. So everybody's back. We're back, back from the mall. One thing I want to point out, the mall is going to be a big player in this too as well. New location on it. Anybody have anything to say before I bring up the next scene, which is the most important scene?
I liked Dustin this season. I thought it was good. I liked this story. I thought he felt important in season 3. Mm-hmm. I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I like Dustin better at season 3 than season 4. To be honest, season 4 I did not like the whole snappiness to thinking he's like better than Steve, like smarter, and then really more with Eddie, like pushing Steve away. Or acting, anyway, I don't know what words I was going to say, but they go off. But the most important thing,
here it comes.
Here it is.
Here it is.
Oh, there's the man.
Boy.
Yeah,
that's not a boy anymore.
Character.
Yeah, that ain't a boy anymore. That's a man.
Yeah,
that's a man.
We've seen the clip. I've seen the clip too many times throughout these streams.
I don't think you've seen it enough. Play it again.
Okay, hold on.
You don't even have to get it up now because it's here.
Oh no, I got
to get it up.
Afternoon, ladies.
Afternoon, Billy.
Take the new suit, Mrs. Wheeler.
Thank you.
Rewatching these episodes and thinking that he's gonna hook up with Mrs. It's not Wheeler. It's the other one. Wait,
Karen Wheeler.
Yeah, mm-hmm. I don't condone cheating. I think once you're married, that's it. Till death do you part. There's only one way out. But no offense, I was watching her. Look at her boring husband.
All I'm saying is that
he deserves it.
If there was a poster child for the female equivalent of goobing, Mrs. Wheeler is it right now. Okay.
Yes.
she's got that female gooner brain going on.
She's hot though.
All those housewives have their gooner brain going.
Oh yeah.
She is super
That's
hot.
The one, though. She is. It makes sense.
Was it season? No, it was the end of season 2, wasn't it? Where he showed up at the because he was looking for Max. He showed up at a door, and she was already going for him, like taking it back because she got out of the bath, didn't she? And then she realized like Ted was like asleep, and like he couldn't get the door, well, because he was asleep. And then it was Billy at a door. She just didn't know. She didn't know what to say.
In his tight ass skinny jeans.
Yeah,
I didn't look, so I wouldn't be able to.
Oh yeah, no, of course not.
No, of course not. Which contradicts to the next scene where we have Hopper and Joyce, where Hopper, now police chief, is irritated by the mall's impact and his inability to control 11. Joyce, still grieving Bob's death, notices a magnet falling from her fridge. We see that earlier on, a subtle clue to the supernatural activity. But Hopper comes to Joyce to basically ask about advice on how to raise a teenage girl. And he doesn't listen to a lick of it.
He doesn't. No.
He doesn't listen to like any of it
At all.
We get also Nancy and fucking other bowl cut Jonathan. They're working for a newspaper, and Jonathan's the photographer, but Nancy, who wants to be an investigator, who wants to be a journalist, is just treated as a secretary, just like runs to get cold sandwiches, runs to get coffee and such. Very much, I guess, within the times, right? I guess I don't know, sexism, I guess, in the workplace at this point. It kind of makes sense during this timeline.
Yeah.
Internship status.
Yeah.
It's
where was I? Sorry. Okay. This episode's not a lot going on until we get to the end. The kids find out about Suzie. We get the Robin and Steve back and forth. Eventually we find out Robin's only interested in girls. But Steve has been trying to pick up girls that are age appropriate when they come to the ice cream. Like, hey man, I can hook you up with some free ice cream if you'll go out with me. Poor Steve.
Poor Steve. Oh for 6 Popeye.
Yeah.
Didn't have to emasculate the guy, and I don't think this was helpful for his character at all. But whatever.
I feel this episode sets up a lot, but it doesn't give a lot until we get to the end, where the kids interfere with the coded Russian transmission with his super duper radio tower. Although we get a wet Mrs. Wheeler.
Nice.
Is it? Yeah. Okay. I was gonna say, yeah. That's the highlight of the scene for you, Nadia. Yeah.
I purposely used this as a thumbnail for Toxic, and purposely covered Mrs. Wheeler's like face a little bit, and just just for Toxic, on this one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Billy's actor here, he just understood the assignment. He's got all the right facial expressions. He's done the right pose and everything. Like he's got what is it? He's got in his mouth there. Is it like a lollipop or something, or is it a cigarette, or no idea what he's got going on there? But I think is it a cigarette or is it a toothpick?
My mind chooses to believe it's a lollipop.
Yeah,
I think it's a lollipop.
Listen, he's gonna pop that lollipop like he's gonna pop Ms. Wheeler.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there she's
and
hungry.
He's basically shooting his shot. He's telling her about meeting at some skinny little motel on the edge of town and stuff.
Yeah, giving us swimming lessons, advanced swimming lessons.
Advanced swimming lessons too. I will say that makeup did not move. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. She doesn't have running makeup on her face. And the kids are setting up that tower. We get a little bit of flashback of Bob, the superhero, which I thought was a very touching moment. Joyce is still grieving his death. I'm totally cool with this. I actually don't think Hopper and Joyce should be together, to be honest. I think it's just a trope that's predictable. I mean, so I like that we're still getting memories back and forth about Bob and her grieving and such. I love this.
Sit down.
Where he tried. He really tries with the kids. I'll give it to him. He really does try with the kids.
I like the fact that like as soon as he ggets laughed at by Mike, you can see on his face just snaps like, all right, fuck it, plan B.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, that's what I don't like about this. They write it as the kids don't respect him at all, as if season 2 never happened and Hopper didn't save their ass. Like it just doesn't come off like that. And this kid is so snobby, thinking he has, in a sense, domain over Hopper's territory. Like he's pissing on it left and right. So I love the car when he gets him in the car. And I feel like I'm not a parent, but Zach's, I feel like if you had a daughter, if your kid was a daughter with this,
I think
that would be it.
I think the problem is that they make him look like deranged and crazy. He's not just putting his foot down. They make him look. It's like the comedic bad guy. Do you know what I mean? It's like he's losing his grip on reality. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
the thing that I don't like.
He would do better to be cool about it, to be the cool dad, because he knows these kids. He's known these kids forever. So like he should be able to say, "Let's go. Like it's time. Get out of here. I'm going to take you home." Like that should be as simple as it is. There should be no rage on his end. And like for me, I think that's a much better way to handle it as a parent, and that's what the way he would have handled it if they kept consistent, didn't do this weird shit with him all the time. And also your daughter is like super powered, so she's probably going to be fine.
Yeah, sure. It's like, I don't mind him like as a dad, like putting his foot down, maybe just instilling a little bit of fear of him into Mike, because I mean, he should, but the whole wide-eyed, deranged look that he was going for, I just felt like they were trying too hard to just make him this crazy guy. Like he had no idea what to do, and it's like that just didn't seem like Hopper.
See, he has a little line when he's talking to Joyce about like he'll cover up his death when he shoots him. He's the chief of police. He can make it happen. It's like, that's funny, haha. But then you see this scene where he actually looks to her and he's like, oh fuck, he's actually gonna old yeller this kid.
Yeah.
It's like, wait a minute, it was supposed to just be a throwaway line. Don't actually do it.
Yeah, so I enjoyed that scene when it was played off for a joke, but then then he starts looking like he might actually do it, and I was like, I hope they're not going for that character.
So this is the scene where they intercept that coded. Sorry, go ahead, Zach. Go ahead.
That could work in this. Like he could use that line, but with the kid in the car, and be a little bit quiet, threatening, and then like jokey kind of way. But is he joking? I don't know. I don't want to find out. That's how you could do that. But him flipping out ruins all of it. It's just now he has no emotional control whatsoever, and he's a cop. He's the chief of police. He's dealt with demons. He should have some control over his emotions at this point.
Yeah,
but at the same time, these kids should respect him, though. Even though he's known these kids since they were little, he's also been there the last couple of years with all the shit that's been happening, helping and saving these kids and doing stuff. And then on top of it, adopting 11, right, to be her parent. So I think it should go like two-way street here. Maybe he shouldn't be written as a psychopath, but at the same time, Mike shouldn't be written as an asshole on top of it.
That's true.
Yeah, I enjoyed how they treated Hopper and Hopper's parenting skills in season 2, where he did have a temper, he had like a position that he was coming from. Every time he took issue with something, he wasn't great at dealing with it, and he wasn't great at talking 11 down and making her see his side of things, but and it did get on his nerves sometimes. But it was the place he was coming from was reasonable, and he did always. He usually started off trying to talk to her calmly, and then when she wouldn't reciprocate and when she'd get angry with him and she'd act out, then he didn't really know how to handle it, and he started yelling at her. Like that's just sort of I believed that as something that Hopper wouldn't be great at, but then in season 3 they just turned him into this deranged psychopath, and that's just
wait, you just wait. You just wait on this.
It does work better in season 2 because they actually show him like grappling with like the remnants of the lab, trying to figure out how to get 11 safely out into the open.
Yeah.
We also learn a little bit more about his daughter too, and we can relate to that because with him grieving his daughter and then finding 11 and trying to navigate this, because he's not only navigating it as a parent, he's also navigating it as a single parent. It's not like he has a household with a wife to be able to help with it, especially with a teenage girl. Oh, Edie.
She's been screaming this whole time. She needs some TLC.
Oh, I don't know where mine was. She was screaming at me earlier.
Yeah, all of a sudden this stream will be one of my mates' favorite streams.
My friend gave me a bed that's shaped like a banana for her that she can like go in the peel and stuff. Yeah, it's weird. Anyway, okay, cats.
Sorry.
This is teasing one of my favorite characters of the season.
Yes, there we go.
Is it Alexi, who I don't want to say too much because Junie hasn't seen the rest of the season. But you ready for a gut punch at the end?
We'll get to Alexi in due time. Don't you worry. But the great character right here, great addition.
This harlot ready to go cheat as she watches her husband sitting with their daughter, very like a husband should, right? Taking care of the kid and stuff. I mean, we all don't like Mr. Wheeler because he just comes off as an NPC. But again, it's no reason to cheat on it. See, that's sweet. That's a very sweet.
It is.
Yeah.
You know, taking care. You know, he steps up. He's a dad. It's not his fault that she decided to settle. You know, that's on her.
Yeah.
So she's on her way to, or I believe she decides after seeing this not to go. Because when she meets up with Billy later on, she's apologizing and that's when she's taking over. But the closing scene of this episode is the episode ends with Billy under the Mind Flayer's influence. So he crashes his car, or the Mind Flayer makes him crash his car, and he's basically taken away by the Mind Flayer to be put under his influence. So, pretty creepy scene at the end, I would say. Especially because, like, if you look back at season 2, Billy was never really involved with the Upside Down. So he didn't know any of this stuff is going on or any of these things to be warned about.
Right.
So
No, he wasn't.
He's taken away by the Mind Flayer, screaming. Pretty much a very good horror scene. Very much like Texas Chainsaw Massacre kind of vibe to me, where he's being pulled down the stairs.
That's another one that I need to watch. I always forget that exists. Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Episode 1 of season 3. Initial thoughts on it, and then we'll get to season 2. Sketch.
Yeah.
Season 2.
Going back to season 2, it's like, no, we didn't get enough of it. As far as opening episodes go, I quite like this one. It doesn't feel like it wastes a whole lot. It takes kind of like the whole episode, but I feel like just that one episode was a good use to just like establish where all of our key players are now. They don't really try to just like drag it out over like too many episodes. It's all just like, here's where everyone is, here's what they're up to, and here's what you can kind of expect to be going on this season. I think that played a lot. They learned from a lot of their mistakes with the first half of season 2 and just kind of got straight to the chase with this one.
I agree. Toonie?
Well, I mean, so I've never seen season 3 before, so I'm not really sure what's being set up and where it's leading to. I did enjoy them as pilots. I did enjoy them as pilot episodes. This time, I didn't exactly have the Stranger Things burnout that I guess I probably did when we got around to season 3 years ago when it first came out. So I guess, yeah, I'm going to stick this through and then see what happens in season 4 and 5. I don't know if I'm supposed to like Robin at this point. I don't mind her right now. I don't know. Do people end up not liking her by the end of the season? I'm not sure. But so far, I've not got any particular issues. I'm looking forward to what happens with the Kane Steve arc. I don't have any real issues with it so far. I'll see what they do. And it kind of give it away, but I'm still curious what happens with Suzie. Is she real? Is she alive? I don't know what's going to happen with that arc. I'm intrigued. And Billy, I'll see what happens with Billy as well.
Oh boy, you're in for a ride. Zach,
Bustle up.
I like this episode. I think it was a good opener. No issues with it. It didn't like rock my world, but it was a solid starter and a refresh that they had to do. I didn't like the direction of the season, but the episode was fine.
Yeah, I don't think it's a bad episode. I kind of agree with Sketch that we're just setting up where everybody's at. I mean, this season's only 8 episodes, thankfully, so they're not. I don't think they drag too much out with this. It's very interesting, the Soviet aspect of this season and how they play into it. I don't want to give too much away with Toonie's just first time watch through. And I also feel like, yeah. I also feel there's a couple characters they don't know what to do with. They don't know what to do with Jonathan. They don't know what to do with Hopper. They don't know what to do with Steve. It's even Nancy too. I feel like they have certain characters that are very strong during the season and some characters that just kind of been pushed to the wayside on him.
The season, the mall stuff I found really goofy and awkward. I know there were some cool visuals. There was a cool fight scene in it, and the Russian stuff was fine, but I just it seemed a very unrealistic that kind of a thing would continue happening as long as it did. And I think the first season was great because it kept the scale down, and it's believable. There's some secret military facility doing weird tests on kids, and it's based on Montauk, so it actually happened, right? But the whole nuclear fusion thing in the mall, and I don't know, I thought it was over the top for me, and I like this show better when it's, I guess, maybe smaller scale.
Yeah, more real. Even though we're in a fantasy sci-fi type of world, both season 1 and 2 had some realism to it, as if this could really happen. We could technically stumble across an interdimensional world in a sense, where this one kind of plays. I think it was very hard for them to bring in the Soviet. How do we get Russia and the United States
right
where we can have people go from one to the other back and forth without having to take a plane, a boat, or something. Right. Let's figure it out. And I think that's a weakness in this season. However, I know we have a season 3 propagandist on the panel. So
I was just gonna say, I'll just leave it at I appreciate them trying to pivot away from just purely MK Ultra psychedelic explanations and more into a more techno sci-fi focused approach to the Upside Down with it. I think that works in its favor, especially when you're going to introduce a whole new faction who's trying to investigate it.
Yeah, I haven't really, because I haven't seen the rest of the season of the show, but I don't really know. Do they treat the Russians as the new villains? Do they treat them as an evolution of the villains in the first 2 seasons? Are they a consequence? Are they now getting involved as a consequence of the first 2 seasons, or is it just sort of one of those things where they're just the villains now? They're just there.
It could be a little bit. But I think it's more so it's the timeline of the era. So I think probably the Duffer Brothers went, okay, 1980s. Who could be somebody that would want to steal this tech or be able to? We were up against the Russians at the time. Let's steal them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, also we'll get it'll come up in a later episode, but there is an explanation that the Russians are here specifically because during their research to find something out. So
yes,
it's more of the former that you suggested, where it is a consequence per se of the last couple seasons, and not just an arbitrary. They just happen to figure it out as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say if it's it's the implication that if not for the first 2 seasons, the Russians wouldn't be here because they followed on from something that happened. And it's I don't mind stuff I don't mind that where the story gets more expansive as the story goes along, so long as it doesn't just become more expansive when they want bigger things to play with, in
a general broad stroke, yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, we'll see what happens later in the season then.
Well, episode 2 is called The Mall Rats. Nancy and Jonathan follow a lead. Steve and Robin sign on a secret mission, and Max and Eleven go shopping. A rattled Billy has trouble visions. So it opens up with Billy being infected by the Mind Flayer in episode 1, acts erratical. He lures a lifeguard later, Karen, to trap, but is interrupted, and his behavior, sweating, and aggressiveness signals the Mind Flayer's control. So poor Billy in the beginning, he ends up in the Upside Down at some point too as well. Poor Billy. Poor my dude. Shouldn't have been a racist, Billy. Shouldn't have been a racist.
I like the shopping scene. I thought it was cute.
The shopping scene's cute. It's girls going. So this is a key moment too. After Hopper's confrontation with Mike lies to 11 about his grandmother's health to avoid seeing her. And this backfires because his mom's listening on the phone. It's like, Grandma's dead? Mom, get off the phone. Leading 11 to dumping Mike after she learns of his lie, showcasing Hopper's overprotective nature and its consequences here. Yeah. Mom, get off the phone. Kids nowadays won't even know about this now. I was thinking about this. I was of an age where you had a house phone, you pick it up, and you can pick up another one in the house and hear what the person's saying. People nowadays won't have this. I mean, we have three-way on our cell phones, but it's not the same.
You can't just drop in and listen. Well, we don't really like that anymore.
It's like that's like the cheat sheet joke for me. I always enjoy those jokes. Like in 21 Jump Street when he's talking to the girl and his mum's like over listening on the phone, and then when she butts in, he's like, "Mom, get out the phone!" It's just I love it. Phone, Mom. Yeah, I just love jokes like that. They're the easy mode jokes for me.
I will say this episode's not very strong to me. I know it's in a sense just helping progress the story along. And again, I'm grateful that we only have 8 episodes this season instead of them dragging it out. But it just, I don't know. Nothing really exciting. To me, nothing very exciting happens other than at the end when we get the rat scenario.
This episode mostly just kind of exists as a reason to justify splitting the groups up more than they already are.
That's a good point. Yeah. Hopper's happy that these kids are not going to be hanging out. Man, how many makeup sessions do you need a week as budding teenagers? I was just saying, I don't know how many do you need? Question for the chat. How many makeup sessions do you need on it? That's my
makeup sessions?
Make out sessions. Sorry.
I was about to say makeup or make out.
Yeah.
Make out sessions.
As many as you can get, I guess, right?
If Mike is to be believed, it's all the time.
Well, it's interesting because it's 11 pushing for it, not Mike.
She's put on tons of weight this season, huh? She's really thickened up a lot.
Nancy here?
Yeah. She's super fat now, actually, I would say. No?
I wouldn't say she's super fat, but she ate a sandwich at least.
I'm joking. I'm just trying to get, I want someone else to have an eating disorder. That would be fun. That's all.
It's the hair.
She's still pretty fucking thin. She's still pretty tiny.
I know she is. Yeah, she needs to eat.
But I will say she does look like she ate a sandwich at some point.
Yeah, at least now we know where the mustard went off that guy's sandwich. She put it on hers.
Nancy and Jonathan are investigating. They get a lead about diseased rats and strange behavior at Mrs. Driscoll's house. So she and Jonathan decide to go investigate the evidence over there. So they're heading over that way because Nancy is tired of being the girl to run and get everybody's sandwiches and coffees and stuff. I get it, girl. I get it.
Yeah.
And then we're back to Port. Oh, this is great. This is when Dustin and Steve. Dustin returns from camp, reconnects with Steve, who's working at Scoops Ahoy. I have that clip. I think I do. Wait, is it?
How many children are you friends with?
I want to ask you, Toonie, having seen those clips before for Super Chat donos and now seeing them in their full context, how does this make you feel?
I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember seeing that clip specifically. But
I got another one. All right. I got another one.
I'm not gonna lie. When it showed a black screen, I was like, "Please don't work."
Man.
Unfortunately, I have to look at that every time I turn my monitor on. So I've seen it plenty of times.
Well, also at this time, Dustin brings the Russian transmission to Steve to figure it out, right? For them to figure it out. Eventually, Robin overhears them, and I guess Robin speaks somewhat Russian, like slight Russian.
Yeah,
she says she
Yes.
speaks like six other languages and can probably leapfrog her way over.
Oh,
to
right.
Yeah,
Translate it with it.
French, Italian, and then Spanish. I think she said, and then obviously English. So she said 4. Was it Italian? It was definitely Spanish and French.
Something along those lines.
Yeah, something like that.
I've got 30 people watching between X and YouTube. I don't know Rumble, but thank you guys so much for hanging out with us on Stranger Friday nights. At least the season is short. Not here. It is. We go back to 9 episodes. Not only do season 4 have 9 episodes, two or three of those episodes are like an hour and a half long, or something to that extent.
I think the final one pushes 2 hours long.
Yeah, we're basically going to have to just cover, which I actually like. I actually do like the fact that we do the last episode of full stream for that separately. But yeah, it's just can't wait to see what the run times are for season 5. So upon learning about the lie, she decides to go hang out with Max. And if anybody remembers last season, 11 and Max didn't really leave on good terms.
Yeah,
11 kind of like brushed against her.
Yeah, she sort of ignored her, didn't she? When they met, and I think it was after Max drugged Billy during the fight, or was that a different scene? I can't remember, but they met briefly. They met face to face.
It was before that. It was before Billy showed up to that. Because
it was after the Demodogs attacked him.
Yeah.
It was the. I was gonna say it would have been interesting.
She gave her the cold shoulder.
Yeah, that was basically it. She just sort of walked past her, but it would have been interesting to see Billy's scene with 11 in the room. That would have been interesting.
Yeah. Well, 11, feeling neglected by Mike, who's been told by Hopper to spend less time with her, bonds with Max. So they hang out at the mall, trying on clothes, having fun, which highlights 11's growth as she explores independence and female friendship. This also strains her relationship with Mike further, too, on top of it. The boys find out that Mike's been lying to her, too, as well. That's a great shot. The pool. Oh, and then we get back to Billy. Oh, come back, Billy. Where are we, Billy? This is the moment where he's not really listening, where she comes in and apologizes for not showing up, so she decides not to cheat on her husband. And he's definitely controlled by the Mind Flayer at this point. If you haven't, spoilers, not spoilers, Mind Flayer's back for season 3, if you haven't picked that up in the first episode by rewatching it.
So it's definitely the same creature. It's the same intelligence and entity. It's not just another upside down creature.
Correct.
Well, the part that's specifically here is the one that popped out of Will at the end of the last season. That's connecting it back to that's the part that's connecting it back to the upside down.
Oh, right.
Yeah. No, I didn't know that. I thought that was just the Mind Flayer. I didn't realize that it's separated into pieces.
Because
there we go, full shot.
I think when hello. Well, hello, Dixie Cup.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I zoom in on that.
When they show off Will having the reaction to the theater coming back on, they get the goosebumps on his neck. Didn't they? I think they flash cut back to the Mind Flayer bit flying out of him at the end of season 2, to implicate that this is the same piece of the Mind Flayer that's still trapped over here that was dormant when they closed the gate.
Yeah, they I'm pretty sure they played the sound effect as well, like the sort of a fluttering effect. Do you like the upside down sort of bristle effect that they have? The little chittering sound that they do. I think they play that when they show the back of his neck as well. And I've got to say, at the end of season 2, when 11 is closing the gate, I absolutely just love the imagery of seeing the Mind Flayer, the silhouette of it behind the screen.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
Very D&D.
Yeah.
Very D&D.
I love a villain tease, you know what I mean? When you see the villain in its true form and scale, but only just enough to make out what it might look like, but you can't quite see it. I think the only thing that I would have done if they wanted to make that the big semi reveal, the only problem with that is that we have seen it in its full form throughout the season. You know, it's not really. It would have worked better if we didn't see the Mind Flayer so much throughout the season, and then that was like the first time that we really got an impression of what it looked like. Was just that little silhouette. That would have been nice.
It's interesting to me that they would use the same creature villain for 2 seasons in a row.
Especially if it's not the especially if it's not the series' main villain, you know, because it's not.
Because eventually we get to Vecna, who is
like the mastermind,
the series. Right? Yeah, but I'm surprised we got 2 seasons of Mind Flayer, and then we get straight to Vecna.
Well, I often kind of think about it. I'm pretty sure like the Mind Flayer was always meant to be like the big bad evil guy at the top of the at the pyramid the whole time, but I always kind of thought, or at least I thought I heard that like what happened was like reception to like seasons 2 and 3 wasn't super hot, and it caused the Duffer brothers to kind of go back and reevaluate how they were doing things, and that's why we end up getting Vecna to kind of retcon things a little bit later.
Emo Elvin.
New potato.
Yep.
Welcome.
What?
Welcome.
So she was either. I've been doing some research, heavy research on this picture. This still, she was 49 or 50 when they did this.
Holy shit! You know, you should make her your new Circle of Jerks thumbnail, or
That's
at least
I was gonna,
one coming up.
I was going to use Hunter J this week, but I mean, yeah, you're right. I need to use her. I will use her until she's used up. How about that?
All right, moving on.
No, quick, abandon ship. Now you move on.
He's eating a banana like straight dudes do.
Do straight dudes eat bananas like that?
No.
I don't know about
you take it like piece by piece, right? And then put it in your mouth.
Right.
Yeah.
Not in public either.
Not in public. Well, look, he's got a full ball in his mouth.
Yeah. I mean, they've killed his character this season, so they're going all the way. They've completely demasculated, like completely. There is no testosterone in Steve right now throughout this entire season. He's wearing a skirt and like that weird scarf.
He's got an apron on.
I mean, I hope Nick doesn't watch the replay on this because I really want him to dress up like this.
You just gave away the whole plot. You gave away the motivation. No. Yeah. Delete the VOD. So, delete it. Get rid of it.
But I did tell him he could cut off the sleeves if he wanted to.
Okay.
So.
Can he turn the little handkerchief into like a bandana, like Rambo style?
Sure, if he wants to. Whatever he wants to do with it, it's his. I'm percentage of it.
I've only watched the first Rambo. Are there any others? Well, I mean, I know that there are other Rambo films, but are there any other?
I've never seen any of them.
No, I only watched First Blood, but years ago, so I don't even really remember it.
Fuck off.
That's why I want Chris to come back to Inside All Day, because I'm like, maybe what we can do is just do a stream retrospect on stuff I haven't seen, and he'll watch stuff like that with me.
Well, yeah, I would hope so.
Yeah. I was like, do you want to watch
unbelievable.
with me? I haven't seen it since it's aired. I want to rewatch it. And he's like, I just recently watched it as an adult before he met me. And I was like, you know what? I'll just hop in, when I want to and such. But yeah. But
I want to know, do you think you can get this in toxic size? I doubt it. And if you can, that's too bad.
Toxic side, I would send him the mullet and the lifeguard shorts.
I think if everyone's gonna pick an outfit, I think Toxic needs to be assigned Dustin here. He needs the hat,
the hair, and the hat.
Get him the hat. Yeah, I think this hat really says Toxic to me.
Yeah, that's true. Well, this is what we were talking about earlier. Oh shit, that was the scene earlier we were talking about where she says she speaks other languages. She wants kind of in. She's a little bit bored with the Scoops Ahoy job, so she wants in on this Russian translation that they're trying to do, that they were picked up last episode. We move to Jonathan and Nancy investigating the rat issue that Mrs. Dresco has, and I like how Nancy's kind of questioning her, and she goes, "I'm old, but I'm not senile," or something to that extent. And I was like, "That's how I'm going to be." I'm old, but I'm not senile. or maybe I'll be senile. Either way. Investigating that these rats are eating fertilizer. We come to find out, spoilers, not spoilers, towards the end, the rats are infested with something from the upside down, in a sense. They are also controlled.
Well, technically, we find that out at the end of the first episode, don't we? Like, because I mean, it's pretty obvious. It's pretty obvious that they're the same. Well, that something's going on with the rats at the end of the first episode because you see all the rats.
Yes and no, because we do see them all running towards the abandoned ironworks. It's this episode where we get to see the disgustingness about what's going on with them. Oh my god.
Yeah, we get more. Yeah, we get the other characters get to see get to be introduced to the rat plot, but the audience was teased about it at the end of the first episode. Is all I was getting at.
We get to meet our new mayor of Hawkins, which is played by the great I'm trying to get a picture of him. Where is he? Let's play this. There we go. Oh, fuck, always a back turn. There we go. Fuck, I had my notes out.
Do you know what's funny? I'm pretty sure that's the exact same actor. I'm pretty sure that's the exact same actor as the weird boyfriend from Liar Liar. I'm pretty sure it is. I think so. Yeah. Well, let's get the cast up. Hang on. All right. So
he was in a movie you have never seen, probably Nadia, called Princess Bride.
I have seen it. Thank you. Fuck off. I have seen Princess Bride. Thank you. I've at least seen that.
You win this round.
I win this one. When did Liar Liar come out? Early
I think it was
2000?
1999. I think it was like 1999.
Oh, he was. He is. He was Jerry.
Yeah, that was his name. Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen Liar Liar. FYI.
Okay. Well.
Okay. All right.
That's
Gary
something,
Ellis.
I guess. Gary Ellis, yeah.
Yep. Great. I loved it when I first saw him.
Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Yes, seen it.
There you go.
Hey.
Catching up. 2 for 10. It's good enough. We'll go.
He reminds me of the mayor from Jaws, which I've seen.
Now you're just picking movies you've seen to fit into this narrative. That's all.
It was only semi.
A little bit.
I was gonna go Michael Douglas in Wall Street.
I've seen Wall Street. You're right. Yeah.
He's Michael Douglas in Wall Street with a hint of like Gavin Newsom.
Yeah, the slick back hair and stuff. Yeah, yeah.
Is this a different movie to The Wolf of Wall Street, or
very much different?
Yes.
Okay. All right. There you go.
Less
for sure.
And then we get our little bit. This is what this episode is pretty much known for: is a little like montage of them shopping and 11 getting clothes and them like bonding over friendship and girl stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's fine. It's cute.
It's cute. Yeah, it's cute.
Give us some
I want to go back to the rat. There we go. Because we get a little bit of filler, but
yeah. Oh my. I hate it. I hate it so much.
Looks like
it's
purple
disgusting.
afterbirth. That's what it looks like.
Yeah. Placenta. Don't eat that placenta. Some placenta that you can eat, but don't eat this one. That's for sure.
Don't eat this one. Don't eat this one.
Not
eat the
this
other
one.
ones, but don't eat the one. No.
Yeah.
Don't eat this one. Yeah, this is. I understand with the rats in the first episode we see with the running, but this is where we kind of get the confirmation that I can't even look. You
see a bunch of them popping in the first episode too, which is like, oh dear God.
I don't think the effects of that scene were quite as like gory and goopy as the one that you just showed. I don't know if they were just maybe it just
because it was darker.
Yeah, sure. I was gonna say maybe they just weren't as detailed because there was supposed to be so many that you weren't really paying attention to one on its own.
Ooh, look at that! That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yikes! Guy looks like he's gonna have heat stroke. My last quote was just that you're a 45-year-old man, and I pray for your family.
Thank you.
Thank you, Erwin Stew Potato. Thank you for being here.
I really appreciate the prayers. They're really helping. So
that's true. It's true.
Yep.
And I pray for your family. You can't interview though, Zach.
Not a good podcaster.
Tip.
I pray for your family.
Not a good podcaster.
Pray for Nope.
And I also believe in objective, not subjective. And so he's also mad about that. But
this is also where he tries to kidnap this lifeguard too as well. To turn
she's
her.
cute. Who is the lifeguard? Yeah.
What's her name? It's
I'm gonna look.
I think
She
not
looks like
Karen.
Dix from Andor, kind of.
A little bit.
I haven't seen season 2 of Andor. I feel like I need to get around to watching it. I enjoyed season 1. I just never got around to season 2.
Which one?
It's great.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about it.
Slow burn, but it's worth it. Everything does tie in.
Yeah, it's season 1's first like half was a bit of a slow burn. Is it more or less of a slow burn, or
what show are we talking about?
Oh, Andor.
It's very
Star Wars
very similar in pacing. Like you don't necessarily need the first 3 episodes that much. It just kind of reestablishes everybody, and that's like they're not short episodes, so I understand why people are are turned off by it. But they do tie those things in later on, and if you care about that attention to detail, you do get that. And episode 7 and on are fantastic. Like it's really good stuff, and it's just a great spy story, and it's Star Wars, but it's just a great spy story. And it's Tony Gilroy who's did the Bourne movies, and he's good at this shit. So it really comes out well, I think. And it ends directly into Rogue One. Like it's seamless.
Yeah, I remember.
I was impressed with Rogue One.
Yeah, Rogue One. I mean, it's. I think Rogue One was enjoyed a lot. I think it's been said before. Rogue One was enjoyed a lot because it was it was around the time of The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi. So loads of people didn't like The Last Jedi. So Rogue One was like another breath of fresh air. So everyone looked more favorable on it.
My problem with Rogue One was every character was unlikable, and the character that they created to be the unlikable character, which was the robot, was the only likable character. So it just, I don't know, it just didn't flow well for me. Whatever.
He's in season 2.
Oh, great.
Oh, K2SO. Yeah.
I mean, I have my whole left leg is tattooed in Star Wars. Like I have a big tattoo of it. But that being said,
I wouldn't have thought K2S2, K2SO was supposed to be unlikable. I thought he was just supposed to be like the
because he comes off as like the whippy like one-liner kind of a jackass. So in a sense, he is a jackass. Yeah. But everybody likes him. But every other character was very unlikable.
Yeah, he was supposed to be the comedic appeal. He was like supposed to be the comedic appeal. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, all right.
Hey.
I have a question, gentlemen. Do you have this reaction when you first saw Lingerie as well? I didn't know what the fuck to do.
I mean, I'm not gay, so...
I like that pattern. That's a pretty cool pattern, though.
I've never worn it, so I'm not sure.
You should try it out.
Better removing it. It's much better that way.
The kids spot each other at the mall. Oh, look at them. Look at this. All 80s. Oh, look at this. All having a good time.
Yeah.
Well, these two are still trying to figure that out. I believe this is the moment where 11 dumps Mike.
I dumped your ass.
The body posture
what
kills
are you doing here?
Yeah. I'm on your bed. Yeah.
I love how just gaslit like Mike is being right now, like just working in his mouth. He has no idea what's going on.
What does his parents look like? I'm curious. Hold on.
That's a great question. Because he has like the same haircut like every time he shows up. Like it's not just like a production decision.
Yeah.
I mean, he looks way more like his dad. Way more like his dad.
Okay. Did not know that. He looks better with like not embarrassing hair.
That's true. That's true.
I feel like most people do. Is that...
Yeah, a haircut does make a big difference, especially for dudes. It does make a big difference, in my opinion. I've watched multiple videos of like barbers on TikTok and Instagram who have these guys that come in and they give him like a 1-over haircut, and it's like night and day on the difference, and like your appearance points like go up, like you become hotter.
That'll be the new way to avoid the police in GTA 6, or just get a haircut.
Yeah.
GTA 5, it was going getting your car painted in Los Santos Customs. This time it was right going to the barbers.
Poor Hopper, man.
Get some protein powder too, and then maybe go hit the gym. Finn, you'll be great.
Yeah, yeah.
No
Sleep
kidding.
well. Sleep well too, as well. Stop drinking sodas, dudes. Like, get some sun.
Don't read books.
Yeah. I don't think. Do men read?
No, they shouldn't.
I've got the Silmarillion over there that I haven't read.
You should read things like Lord of the Rings. That's about it. The Bible and Lord of the Rings.
How old are you?
Me?
Roughly. Give me a guess.
24.
Okay, well, so if you really were 24, then you'd still be okay to read. After 26, no books. No more books. Your T levels are very important after that age. And it's all downhill from there. And if you're sitting down reading books, you're not generating T. And if you're not generating T, you're going downhill fast. Don't do it. Don't let them take this from you.
Sigma grind sets.
But it's the Silmarillion, though.
Can somebody remind me why Joyce is with our teacher here?
This is our Joyce has the mystery to solve of the season again, with her electromagnetic question, much like her
because of the magnet and stuff.
Much like her Christmas lights from the first season and her TV static from the second. This is her new little tie-in.
Don't have my notes, and she basically stands up Hopper for this.
Did she actually agree to go to dinner with Hopper? I don't remember that.
Very tentatively and very clear that it's not a date sort of way.
Oh yeah, I remember that bit.
I think she forgot.
And then the kids are figuring out the Russian translation. Man, Sam Goody. Oh man. Some of these stores still existed when I went to the mall. I was a mall kid, mostly because my dad, a couple of my dad's first restaurants were in malls. So I would go to work with my dad, and then he would give me like cash and be like, go shop, do whatever. I will give it to my dad. My dad, Middle Eastern dad, would go to, I think it wasn't a Sam Goody, it was something else that would have an anime magazine that would come out once a month, and he would go buy it. He had no idea what he was buying. He was just getting it for me. So that would be my dad. Cool. Yeah. He is really cool. I'm going to see him in 2 weeks.
Oh,
nice.
Yeah, I'm very excited too. All right, I think that's pretty much it. We end with Billy in basically creating an army for the Mind Flayer, kidnapping that.
Yeah. Basically, the gist of this episode is Billy tried once to fight off the Mind Flayer by not abducting Mrs. Wheeler, and from there on, it's just nope, full on. You're his bitch.
Yep. Which is interesting because I guess you could, like, yes, he would need somebody to do his bidding, right? It's not like the Mind Flayer can just walk around and grab things. So that is Mallrats, guys.
Mallrats.
Wow, we are in record timing. Look at this.
Yes.
When we don't have talks.
Yeah. No trivia.
No trivia. Sketch, final thoughts on this, and you can spew your propaganda if you'd like to.
All right. I kind of, again, this is another one where I appreciate they don't waste your time trying to reestablish a bunch of stuff. It's like we all know what the Mind Flayer does and what it's about, so I like that they kind of just like expedited the process with Billy getting flayed, basically, kind of because we already got what that does with Will, so it's just like we don't need to waste time. Just get him going, get him started, and I like that we get to see Billy taking a much more like involved role into this season. Kind of like we had that discussion at the beginning where like Billy was kind of like present but wasn't really like a driving force in the story. Now he has a much more like active role. I feel like they gave him a lot more stuff to do.
Yeah.
I agree. Toonie.
No, I've enjoyed these first 2 episodes. I wouldn't exactly say they're high art or anything like that, but as pilot episodes, I'm intrigued as the the season's premise. I'm not overly fond of just the suddenly Russians thing, but I mean, we'll see where the season goes. I'm not going to comment too much on it right now. We'll just see what happens. In terms of the rats exploding, I don't know. I just enjoy something about the idea of just all these organic masses that are all sort of linked in like a hive mind. They'll all slither away and then find their way. They'll find their way to a place, and then they'll all amass into like a greater being. I don't know. I played Carrion again recently, so I really enjoyed sort of that premise as a horror iconography. A little hive mind creature that amasses itself out of organic biomass and all that kind of stuff. Enjoy that trope. But yeah, so I'm not entirely sure where everything's going to go in the season, but I look forward to finding out.
Very cool. Zax?
Just don't like the mall stuff. The more we get into the mall, the less I like the season. This was fine. It was, I think episode 1 was good. This was okay. The mall. It's so over the top and silly, and I don't like what they did with Steve in this season at all. I don't like what they did with Hopper this season at all. So the characters I cared about, they didn't do good things with, in my opinion, this season. I didn't hate Max, so that was nice. And she's good in season 4, so I didn't like her much in season 2. I like the Dustin stuff, but he's not really in this episode, or at least the radio stuff. So I don't know. I thought it's fine. I think I'm gonna either change my mind by seeing the season again, which I haven't. I've only watched up till now, or I will scream at Sketch that it's the worst thing ever.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay, Zach.
I don't want to have to do it, but
it's okay. I'll just scream back. It's fine.
Okay, nice.
I was Sketch.
Let's
I think season 3 is better than season 2. The more I remember, the more things are coming back to me on it.
It's a little.
That being said, I think episode 1 and 2 have been one episode together. I feel like episode 1 and 2 are just the same arc, that we're just establishing where the characters are, establishing Billy. It might have been better, in my opinion, if we established the characters with episode 1 and then we just follow Billy entirely for episode 2 and get that point of view instead of just little pieces of it. If they really wanted to kind of drag this out. Overall, I don't think it's a bad start to the season. I think season 4 definitely has a better opener than this one, but I know exactly where this is going, and I agree with you, Zax. I think the mall is a little too much, but somehow it works with the season finale. I don't know. It's fun. I guess I can turn my brain off and be like, okay, this would be weird in a mall. kind of deal.
All of this is just for me.
I'm trying to be as vague as possible so I don't ruin it for you, because it is pretty cool. It is pretty epic. But this is my first time rewatching the season, so we'll see if I still think season 3 is better than season 2.
Yeah.
Sketch, what do you got going on next?
Okay, up next, actually, I'm beginning my re-embark on some exercises doing some sound design, and the first project that I have queued up for myself is actually going to be reverse engineering the sounds for the machine the Russians had in that cold open, because the nice thing about that scene,
cool.
there's really no music underneath it, and there's no dialogue, so it's the perfect thing to try to like reverse engineer and build yourself, to try to give yourself some like crazy intricate sci-fi mechanical stuff going on there. So that's going to be the first one on the docket for me to try out.
That's very cool. Very cool. Toonie, what do you got going on next?
What am I up to next? I'm going to be recording a Slime Rancher video. That's what that's what I've got. So that's basically my plan for a bit. Again, this type of thing isn't my usual activity or type of content. But I'm here because I felt like it. Why not?
Oh, good. All is welcome here. All is welcome. All type of content creators are welcome here on my channel. So, all good. Zax.
Yeah, Circle of Jerks tomorrow night, 10 o'clock Central. It's going to be a fun show. I got a couple of South Africans coming on. Andy from Dooley is coming on. Hold My DualShocks, and Kitty, and some other fun people to talk about genocide for a little bit, make fun of it if we can, and then part 2 of my 4-part series on who is Hunter J. That's the part. So we're doing it. I'm doing four parts of it. I'm going through the entire video. People are loving it. They love it. I can't tell you some of the best people love my videos. And so that Circle of Jerks with Hunter J, it's a match made in heaven. I've got some other cringe that I've been saving. I'm going to show to lighten up the mood a bit. But yeah, we're gonna learn something, and then we're gonna learn more. So
very cool.
Right. Watch it.
As for myself, Tuesday is the premiere of The Final Girls. I will have 5 other horror content creators, women, on with me, and we're going to have a roundtable discussion of what we watched, read, played in May that is in the horror genre, what we would recommend, and kind of like what we're looking forward to in June. And then we will be back Thursday for the season finale of The Last of Us, and that will be over. And then back here again with Stranger Things episode 3 and 4 for season 3. So, and next Saturday is the members watch party, which will be Megan. That's what was voted. So,
nice.
So a lot of fun things coming. Hey, at least next month I picked Jaws ahead of time. It's a good summer movie. Yeah, a good summer movie. So please follow everybody. Everybody's links will be linked down below once YouTube decides to let me at. I don't know if you guys are having that issue too, but when I try to put people's ats in the description, it won't let me lately. And they've been having updates weirdly. I don't know. I'll figure it out. But you all know
it's always a pain in the ass. It's a pain in the ass, but yeah.
Yeah. Again, if you're watching the replay, please leave me a comment. Until next time, I guess y'all, you know what to do. Stay spooky. Bye.